Yeah, another thing to note on this machine is that we've got auto clear, which is good. As long as we don't spend too much time fiddling without touching the screen. Well, yeah, I'm used to having the auto clear function, even if it's a pain in the ass sometimes. So I'm still got to get used to this fucking thing. Got to get used to it. It's getting there. Look, I mean, I've used so many photocopiers in my life. So many. I think I've had worse case scenarios than this. I've used some, like back in the days when Canon had a CLC1 and a CLC 500, and then later on Xerox released the A-Color 635. Going from a CLC1 or a CLC 500, switching between a CLC1 and a CLC 500 was easy. Going from, or should I say, CLC1 to CLC 500 was quite a smooth transition because the controls were much the same. But when I went from Canon to the Xerox A-Color 635, it had me really confused. So I'm used to having to deal with initial confusion and not knowing how to work it, but this is Konica Minolta to Konica Minolta. So this is, I think, is probably a little bit, at least a little bit easier than what I had to deal with switching from Canon to Xerox. This was in the early 90s, so that was a different time when the photocopier industry made machines that lasted longer, and and lots of toner heads worked in the industry as well. They weren't just assholes who loved money, and the toner heads weren't just relegated to the R&D labs or to being technicians. They seemed to have some kind of control over the direction of the industry. We can't say the same for today because you can't even find any new functions on successive generations, whereas between a CLC1 and a CLC 500, these are colour laser copiers. That's what the CLC stands for, colour laser copier. And basically the CLC 500 had more features than the one, but it was still easy to transition, whereas this is a bit tough, a little bit tricky. Getting used to this dang setup, even though the features have not, from what I could tell, have not changed since the info line, which was my last machine, the Konica Minolta BizHub C353. So, but that one's gone, as you know. It went faulty, and I can't use it anymore, and I couldn't afford to get it fixed because it was on what's called a do-in charge instead of a service agreement, because the spare parts could not be guaranteed by Konica Minolta, and basically Mytronics couldn't have me having the technicians come around and not being able to fix the machine while I'm paying for the service agreement if there's no spare parts. So that's really dumb of Konica Minolta, and it makes it hard for companies like Mytronics who are doing their best to help their customers. So this looks quite interesting. I don't know what happened to the background colour red. It didn't seem to work on this, but I don't think we can blame the machine. This happened on my old C353 as well. So I think we'll call that one quits. It's quite a nice pastel result.